Epilogue. On May 7, 1945, Germany surrendered. On March 21, 1946, my 18th birthday, and 2 years after leaving for the front, Tamara and I were married in a chapel in Wilsberg, the town itself having remained mostly untouched by the war. Only the congregation at my wedding had been touched. Among them there were many widows and widowers, and many cripples, other men and women like me. Tamara wore a simple white dress, a bouquet of narcissus in her hands. My mother and grandfather were there. They beamed with joy. 3 years later, Tamara and I arrived in America. From New York, we moved to Fort Worth, Texas, and from there to Seattle, Washington. After just arriving in Seattle, we learned Mother had remarried, and Grandpa was living with them, and the three had refurbished and reopened the Küche Apfelstein. After less than 3 years, Tamara became a registered nurse at a Seattle hospital, then went on to run a free clinic. We have 3 grown children, Hals, Nikolai, and Katerina Elena. Katerina, who is as beautiful as her mother, is a doctor. Hals is a social worker. Nikolai is an artist, a sculptor. For many years, I taught history and languages. Now I am retired, as is Tamara, though we both sometimes volunteer our time at the clinic. Often in the evenings we take long walks together in the woods, usually along the shoreline of the lake near our home. It was during one of these walks that Tamara suggested I write this book. At first I refused to even consider it, mostly, I think, because the memories are so painful. Little by little she changed my mind. She convinced me to put into writing what happened. With patience, she explained to me the reasons why she believed it had to be done, and why this strange and sometimes ugly story had to be told. Author's note. This is a work of fiction based on the lives of 2 very remarkable people. Though names, dates, and places have been altered whenever necessary, the story is not only true, but also loosely parallels the experience of an estimated 30,000 German soldiers during World War II on the Eastern Front. A great many were trapped behind Russian lines. Some of the wounded were given medical attention. Others were literally thrown out of Russian hospitals and left to die. A great many, wounded or not, were executed. Some were imprisoned and enslaved. A few were able to blend into Russian society or flee to neutral, friendly nations.